article is one of your independent text selections. It is titled, Should NASA Pay Companies to Fly Astronauts to the International Space Station? It's kind of a long title, but it's a good question. Here's the background information. Since 2012, private companies in the United States have successfully launched unmanned spacecraft and delivered cargo to the International Space Station, which is abbreviated ISS. The companies, in partnership with NASA, invested substantial, which means a lot, amounts of their own money to transport science equipment, experiments, and supplies to the ISS. Okay, so a private company would be pretty much anything that's not a government department. Okay, so here we go. For decades, U.S. astronauts traveled to space and back aboard NASA space shuttles. But in 2011, NASA retired its shuttles, and U.S. astronauts were left without a ride of their own. Kind of like Uber, huh? NASA astronauts still travel to the International Space Station, a floating space lab in the sky. But to get there, they have to hitch a ride, which means like catch a ride, aboard a Russian craft called a Soyuz. The U.S. government has spent millions of dollars sending our astronauts to space this way. The price per ride is more than $60 million for one astronaut. Ooh. NASA wants to be able to fly people to space from U.S. soil once again. That means instead of them having to go to Russia and then get to space that way. So in order to make that possible, the agency, which is NASA, wants to pay U.S. companies to build spaceships that it can use. The plan is known as the Commercial Crew Program. The government is asking Congress, remember that's the government, to set aside $821 million for the program this year. And then it has a little mark that was written in 2013. So this article is about 7 years old. The money will be used to help a few different companies develop new spacecraft that NASA hopes to use for rides to the space station by 2017. Well, we're in 2020, so I wonder if this is up and running now. So that's something you could definitely investigate. But some lawmakers do not think it would be money well spent. Alabama Senator Richard Shelby thinks that more funding should instead go to the development of NASA's space launch system. The SLS is a powerful rocket that NASA is designing to one day send astronauts on much longer trips, even to Mars. According to Shelby, giving companies money to build spaceships for travel to the space station diverts critical resources from NASA's goal of developing human space flight capabilities with the SLS. That last sentence is very confusing. It just means that it takes away money from the goal of NASA. So this guy is saying, we shouldn't spend money on this because we have more important things to worry about. That was kind of interesting. I hope you enjoyed that article. And if you have any questions about it, please give me a message.